Listen, this episode was amazing. It was so amazing that I had to figure out who directed it. And guess what? The director is Alan Taylor, but he's the one that did Game of Thrones. He did a couple of Game of Thrones. They loved him so much they kept calling him back, but he's the one that did it when, oh my gosh, I can't think of her name. I'm brain farting right now, but that's the one where the girl goes into the fire and hatches the dragon. That's like one of the best episodes. There was a million good episodes, but yo, this episode, I don't even know what to do right now. I feel away because I'm sitting there. We got to do war. We got to do this. And as soon as the dragons start, I'm like, I don't want to see it. I can't see it. We're going to take it from the top real quick. Ameond, you are the worst. So you got Damien in that castle hallucinating like crazy. Now, I'ma say, put the food down. Every time he eats or he drinks from them, that's when it started. So I think that they're feeding him poison. I do. And then the woman, I don't know if that was blood all over her hands or what, but she had red substance all over her hand. Alice Rivers in there doing rituals. Damien tried to get in touch with House Atali, and they bring the grandson. And he's like, well, my grandfather cannot speak to you right now. And Damien is like, so why are you here? If you can't make decisions, I don't need you here. And it's so funny because the kid is amazing, like sweet, because they don't make sweet kids in the House of Dragons and Game of Thrones. These kids are terrorists. So for him to like sit there, he raised me. He was like so proper. I thought it was the most adorable thing. And he's like, God rest his soul. And Damien is like, do you want to put a pillow over his face so we can speed up the process? Like savage mode completely. Yes, Damien is a savage, but we all know that. Bailey calls Princess Rhaenys over to the castle because she's like, listen, you got to come back because these guys are acting like savages. In Queen Rhaenyra's absence, they're like, oh no, we got to go to war now. We got to do this. All these guys, egos, they trying to pull it together. Everybody want to reign supreme because they're like, yo, she's not here. So we got to figure something out now. Attempt to calm them down. Bailey sends for Princess Rhaenys. And she comes, she settles them down for a few seconds, but in the middle of all the chaos, Rhaenyra walks in. And she's like, I'm back. And her son is pissed off because he's like, where were you? So she explained that she tried to make peace. And everyone is shocked, just like I thought they would be. Like, you really, like you got all of us hot and bothered and you trying to make peace? Okay, listen, I am going to eat my words. At least I know when I'm wrong because you do not want dragons fighting. Based on what I learned from this episode, nobody wins and it is chaotic. Plus, I'm actually really sad. I'm smiling, but I'm sad inside. My heart was hurting. I was like all yelling and somebody called me in the middle of this episode. And I'm like, I gotta go. And I'm like, this was it. This was everything. This gave me life. Glowing. So we go back to Alicent. Grand Mastro can't keep his mouth shut. And I'm going to tell you how I know it's him. Because he brings her the tea, the specialized tea, to get rid of something that never was. Y'all get my drift. And I'm like, did her son do something crazy again? But then after a few seconds, I'm like, yo, no, I think it's for her. But later on, we find out that it's definitely for her. However, she asks the Grand Maestro, she's like, do you think that my son was meant to be king? We learned in season 1, you really can't speak to these people because God forbid she get offended or she makes up with her son. She's going to be like, he said this. So nobody want to play those games with her. He is smart enough to keep his mouth shut, but not keep his mouth shut. And I'm going to say that because later on, Larry Strong comes in and he's asking her the same question that she asked Maestro. Are you questioning your son being king? Not only that, he sees the tea right there. I'm like, gosh, she should have just threw it under the bed or something. But he knows that she is in an enormous amount of pain. And he uses this to stay there. He is so evil. He is like, listen, have a nice slow conversation with her because he knows she's holding it in, but he's like, good for your behind. I know he had a crush on her because remember, he was doing some weird things while she was talking and had her back to him. He was sitting there touching his pants and stuff like that. We're going to leave it at that. It was a little bit more, but we're going to leave it at that. It's like he was enjoying watching her try to swindle her way out of it. And he's trying to have a whole complete conversation. And she is just pissed off right now. Like, I actually felt bad for her right now because she doesn't have the option to hold on to something because she's not allowed to be with another man. But yet the husband that she married, the previous wife, was going like a week. And they're like, you got to remarry. You got to remarry. So the double standard is real. And it's sad. Other than that, Alicent never cared for her kids. And I'm going to say that because her kids got mommy issues severely. Ever wonder why Amon is up under this lady trying to be held in a fetal position? Mommy, did you hold Amon? Did you? Now you got the other one, baby number 2, Aegon, pouting like a spoiled brat. And he's not prepared because he never showed any interest in being a king. But, of course, they made him a king. So Amon is sitting there chastising him now in front of everybody. So I guess Amon, he gets his ways back to chastise his brother because his brother is not knowledgeable of certain things. They're speaking Targaryen and nobody knows what they're saying, but Ameond is saying, unless you know any other way to get to war, do you have any suggestions? No? Well, then I suggest you sit there and be quiet while we plan because you don't know what you're doing. Aegon gets so pissed off, he goes to his mom and his mom is like, listen, do the best you can and just shut up. You're doing the best you can for everybody else. Now, she is frustrated. She's in pain. And I really think she's tired of everyone in her face. She is trying to get rid of this pain and everything is going left. Damien is back at this castle. He's getting worse and worse. He's talking to Alice Rivers and she's pretty much telling him what's going on in his head. So she knows a lot of things. I'm telling you, she's definitely into magic. So Rhaenyra's decided she has to use a dragon now because they got to stop Sir Cole and them in their tracks. The only one experienced enough to go that is not the queen is Princess Rhaenys. Wow. Okay. So I am emotional. This was a big thing for me because she was level-headed and she was sweet. And you could tell she really had hesitation, but she had to take one for the team. She is definitely a real one and a real hero. So now she's going out there. Aegon is tired of being in the place and he gets his dragon and he wants to go to war. Mind you, I didn't even tell you, Sir Christian Cole is taking heads and making people bow down to the king that ain't really the king, Aegon. Karma is going to come because the fact that the guy that he beheaded said it right before he was done or finished or checked out for the day, there was a pause in Sir Christian Cole's face. So, yes, definitely his day is coming very soon. Or matter of fact, it probably was today. Did you see Aemon's dragon? I mean, we saw it before, but that thing was as big as a mountain. I'm like, and he's like, lay down, because he's like the secret weapon, They don't know that the dragon is there hiding out. They're trying to get Rhaenyra's dragons out, So they're like, they don't need to know that we here. So lay down. And then, of course, you see Aegon come out with his small dragon. Did absolutely nothing. So the small dragon is out. And Amon doesn't budge. He's sitting there. Just wait. Meanwhile, he sees Princess Rhaenys' dragon out. And he sees him going for his brother. And he's like, all of a sudden, they get close and they start tussling. Then you see Amon come up. Now, Amon comes up and he knows that these two are entangled. And he says, whatever the code is, like them, spit the fire that you do. Sure enough, his brother gets caught in it, but he did not care. And it's like, that is what he wanted. He was like, oh, you wanted to show up? Okay. So Princess Rhaenys, she was able to dibble and dabble and she got out of there. Meanwhile, Aegon's knocked off of his dragons on fire and everything. I think this is where Princess Rhaenys should have retreated. No. She decides she wants to go all in. I guess she was like, you know what? I'm going to take somebody out, because you could tell she was tired, burnt out. It did not seem like she or her dragon had another round. And you're going to tell him to attack that huge 4 or 5 times big dragon. And that's the thing. Amon's dragon be acting so old, like he can't even move, but that thing be moving. And rip Princess Rhaenys. She went so heroically. Like, I almost wanted to shed a tear. Like, it hit me. I don't like these dragons fighting. It was very violent. It was, sad. I didn't want the dragons to get hurt anyway. But the people on the ground, this is when Sir Christian realized ain't he can do. He has no power on the floor with those dragons. No, he doesn't. He's running around. I don't know how he survived. It's a darn shame. But it's okay, because now he has to live with the consequences that you are the hand of the king. Now, where's the king? They're going to replace you as hand. They need to do something. You got your karma. You got your karma, guy. You couldn't even last. What? He didn't even lead 2 days? Yeah. Finish him. Anyway, Edmund, oh my gosh. Did you see that he was about to finish his brother off? He took his sword out, because why would he take his sword out? Do you understand what I'm saying? He was about to get at his brother. But of course, Sir Christian was behind him. And he was like, there you go. No emotion. They left us on a serious cliffhanger. I am not liking this. I know before the end of this season is over, they're going to leave us on some huge cliffhangers. And this is hurting my feelings, man, because I am invested. I really love this show. It is like the hottest thing out right now. Anyway, this is your girl, Amina Seen It. Let's chat down below. And please like, comment, and subscribe to your girl. This was good. This was amazing. Thank you.